So basically in this lecture, we are going to learn about a few velocity functions. Okay, first velocity function we are going to study about. This velocity function is named as velocity potential function. Okay, so let's start understanding this particular thing. What do you mean by velocity potential function? That we need to understand in this particular slide. So basically, if you see the definition of velocity potential function is that a velocity potential function is negative derivative with respect to any direction. The negative derivative with respect to any direction gives the velocity of the. Now what is I'm saying here is that potential function, velocity potential function, is a mathematical function. Let's say phi is denoted as velocity potential function. Now this velocity potential function is a function in what variables? Position variables x, y, z. So it's a function. So if you take a negative derivative, if you take the differentiation, negative differentiation of phi in any direction, let's say with respect to x, y, or z, if you take the negative derivative of phi, you will get velocity in that direction. Like if I want to show it here, if I'm taking a derivative of this phi is velocity potential function. If I'm taking the negative derivative of velocity potential function in x direction, so it will give me the velocity. Fine. So negative derivative of phi in x direction, it will give me the velocity in the x direction. So velocity in the x direction is what? U. Similarly, if I take a negative derivative of phi in the y direction, it will give me the velocity in y direction, and velocity in y direction is v. Similarly, if I take a negative derivative of phi, velocity potential function, in z direction, it will give me the velocity in z direction. What is velocity in z direction? W. Fine. So this is the definition of velocity potential function, that a negative derivative of velocity potential function in a particular direction will give me the velocity in that direction. Fine. So that is, you can say mathematically it is defined, the velocity potential function is defined in such a way. Fine. This is a mathematical definition of velocity potential function. Now you may wonder that what will be the use of such thing? What is the use of such thing? So use of such thing will be like uh, see, like if there is a for any flow, if velocity potential function exists, suppose there is a flow, and for that flow, if this phi exists, it is not necessary that phi will exist for all type of flow. Fine. If for a flow, if phi is exist, that means that flow will be irrotational. Fine. I will tell you this point in the next slide also. You can see in this important points I will tell you. So just for now, the mathematical definition I have told you, that negative derivative of potential function in any direction will give you the velocity in that direction. That is the mathematical definition. Second point you need to remember is, if phi is exist, if this potential function exists for a flow, that means that flow will be irrotational. Fine. So that is the use of phi. Suppose you have been given an objective question. In an objective question, somebody in this question, I give you the value of phi. That say phi is x square plus y square. Fine. For a flow, I will tell you that phi is x square plus y square, and I'll ask you whether this flow is rotational, whether this flow is irrotational, whether this flow is you say steady or unsteady. In such way I will give you. So what will you tell? If phi is x square plus y square, what kind of flow is it? So I have told you that if phi exists for a flow, that means that flow is irrotational. You need not to do any. Yes, you need not to solve any question. If you see phi for a flow, if the phi exists, that means the flow is irrotational. Direct answer. Fine. No need to solve it. You don't need to solve the, you can say, angular velocity or vorticity. Fine. If the phi exists, that means the flow is irrotational. As simple as that. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So mathematical definition and use of phi we have discussed. Let's see some of the important feature of this velocity potential function. Now I'm saying that if for a flow, if phi exists, that means it should be rotational. But for a flow to be possible, it should satisfy continuity equation. Fine. If the flow, for a flow to be possible, it should also satisfy continuity equation. Fine. So what is continuity equation? Du by del x, del v by del y, and del w by del z. So what is u in terms of phi? You know, u in terms of phi is minus d phi by dx. Okay. So u in terms of phi is minus d phi by dx. So we can substitute this over here. Okay. Similarly, v in terms of phi, we can substitute here. And similarly, w in terms of phi, we can substitute here. So if you substitute the value of velocity in terms of phi, what I will get? I will get this equation. Continuity equation will change into this equation. Fine. This was the continuity equation. So in terms of potential function, this is the continuity equation in terms of potential function. This equation, if you see this equation in mathematics, okay, this is a particular type of equation which is called as Laplace equation. In mathematics, if you see a double second order differential equation equal to 0, so that is called as Laplace equation. Okay, so this is a Laplace equation. So that means what I want to say, if in a particular case I give you the value of phi as, let's say, x square plus y square, so for a flow to be possible, what I need to check whether the phi is satisfying Laplace equation or not. Suppose if I give you a question, let's say phi is equals to x square plus y square. So if I ask you whether it's a case of possible flow or not, so what you need to do, you just need to find the Laplace equation of that case. Fine. So since it's a two-dimensional flow, I have not given you the value of z. So for it in 2D, the Laplace equation will be this. Fine, because there should be no z. So if the z is removed, this will be the Laplace equation in two-dimensional. So if I give you the value of phi and if I ask you whether it's a case of fluid flow or not, it should satisfy the Laplace equation in two dimension. Okay, so this is the Laplace equation in two dimension. Right? We just need to take the double derivative of phi with respect to x and double derivative of phi with respect to y, and if it has become equal to 0, that means that is a case of, you can say, possible fluid flow. Right? So two things you need to do: if phi exists and that phi satisfies Laplace equation, if phi exists and that phi satisfies Laplace equation, that means the flow is possible. Okay, and if the flow is possible, that means the flow is irrotational, because phi is only possible when the flow is irrotational. So out of this whole discussion, there are two important points you need to understand points you need to understand from the discussion we have done. This is the first point which you need to understand. If the phi satisfies Laplace equation, that means it's a case of flow. It's a case of flow. And what kind of flow? That flow must be irrotational flow. Fine. If phi exists, so it's a case of phi satisfy Laplace equation. If phi satisfy Laplace equation, it's a case of flow, and that flow will be irrotational flow. So that is a very important point in terms of objective questions. Fine. Any doubts? Okay, so just like, we see just like what we discussed in this case, velocity potential function. Similarly, we have another function which is called as stream function. Right? So what is stream function? Let us try to discuss. Earlier we have studied velocity potential function. Now let us try to discuss stream function. Now basically, if I want to discuss stream function is nothing but the equation of the streamline. Okay, this is the equation of streamline. What was equation of streamline? Does anybody remember equation of streamline? Yes.
D I by V
Yes.
equal to dx upon u
Yes.
plus dy upon v and d plus dz upon dw.
Exactly. This was the equation of the streamline. See, I have shared the screen with you. See, this is the equation of the streamline right now. So in this equation, what I will do, see, this is the equation of streamline. Okay, now in this equation is in the 3 dimension. Okay, in x direction also, y direction also, and z direction also. Now what I will do, if I reduce this equation in 2 dimension, if I reduce this equation in only in the 2 dimension, that is in the x and y direction only, fine. If I reduce the equation of streamline in the 2 dimension, it will become, the equation of the streamline will become dx by dy, sorry, dx by u is equals to dy by v.
Yes,
So
sir.
in 2 dimension, this is the equation of the streamline. Fine. Now if you simplify this equation, you will get a function, you will get a mathematical function which is called as stream function. If you simplify a 2-dimensional equation of the streamline, you will get a mathematical function which is called as stream function. Fine. So if I go back to that slide again, so in this case, stream function is nothing but the equation of the streamline in 2 dimension. Okay, in 2 dimension, if I write the equation of the streamline, so that will become stream function. Fine. This is one thing to understand about stream function. Second is the definition of stream function. So just like velocity potential function, how we can define stream function. So stream function is if I take a derivative of stream function. See, stream function is denoted by this symbol psi. Okay, the symbol is called as psi, psi. Fine. So if I take a derivative of psi in any direction, like in this case x direction, in any direction, it will give me velocity in the perpendicular direction. Okay, so if I take a derivative of the stream function in any direction, it will give me velocity in the perpendicular direction. So perpendicular direction of x is y, fine, and the velocity in y is v. So if I take a derivative of psi with respect to x, the velocity in y direction will be v. Similarly, if I take the derivative of psi in y direction, it will give me the you can say velocity in the x direction, but with a yes, perpendicular direction, but in this case with a negative sign. This is a little exception. You can note it. Again, फिर इसके लिए ना I need to go into the इसमें इसके equation को derive करना पड़ेगा from that point which I was explaining earlier, कि वो क्या बन जाएगा आपके पास del x by u. Okay, इसको मैथमेटिकली प्रूव भी कर देंगे हम अभी, is equals to del y by v. Fine. Let's say इसको हम equate कर लेते हैं with respect to psi. Fine. So what will happen? It can become v dx is equals to u dy. So v dx minus इसको mathematics में अभी मैं जा रहा हूँ, चलो इसको मैं explain कर देता हूँ why it is negative. Just for the definition first, you will understand this, that if I take a derivative of this function with respect to x, it will give me velocity in the perpendicular direction. But in this case, there should be a negative sign. Now, why this negative sign will come? I'll try to explain it in the next slide. Okay, but for now, what I need to say is if psi exists, suppose if this function is existing, now this function is you can say this psi is a function of two variables x and y, because it is only possible in 2 dimension. So in 2 dimension, it is only depending upon x and y, not on z. Psi will not depend on z, it depends only on x and y. Fine. And if psi is exist, if there is a value of psi, to check whether it's a flow, this psi should satisfy continuity equation. Okay, and you know what is continuity equation in 2D? 2D, this is the continuity equation. Del u by del x is equals to del v by del y equal to 0. Fine. So this psi should satisfy this equation. Now to satisfy this equation, what is the value of u in terms of psi? So value of u in terms of psi is this value. Okay. So value of u in terms of psi will be minus d psi by dy. Similarly, value of v in terms of psi, okay, this will be d psi by dx. So if you substitute these two values in the equation, you will get this one. Del by del x is equal to del by del x minus, so value of u will be minus del psi by del y, plus del by del y, the value of v will be del psi by del x. So if you solve them, you will get equal to 0. Okay, that means psi is satisfying continuity equation. Now if psi is satisfying continuity equation, that means psi is a possible case of fluid flow. That means the psi which is given to you, that represents a fluid flow. Fine. Now that flow is rotational or irrotational, that is not decided yet. So if the psi is satisfying continuity equation, that means it's a case of fluid flow. Whether rotational or irrotational, I cannot say anything right now. Fine. Now for that, we'll need to move forward. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I have not included the one of the point where I can prove this negative sign. So I'll discuss this in the next class. Don't worry. Just for the mathematical expression, you can remember this thing. Fine. Second is whether the flow is rotational or irrotational. See, if the psi is satisfying continuity equation, I can say it's a case of fluid flow. Whether it is rotational or irrotational, I cannot say. Now to prove in which condition it will be rotational or irrotational, for that, what I need to do is, since I am telling you that psi is only possible in case of 2D flow. So 2D flow means only in the xy direction. Fine. Now if in the xy direction flow is taking place, that means there could be angular velocity in which direction? Angular velocity will be in, if the flow is in xy plane, the angular velocity is possible in
That direction.
z direction. Okay, so that is what we need to check. See, in the z direction, the expression of the angular velocity is this. Fine. So this is the expression of angular velocity in z direction. So in this case, we will try to write angular velocity in terms of psi, in terms of stream function. If I need to write angular velocity, so what is the value of v in terms of psi? Value of v in terms of psi is del psi by del x, and value of u in terms of psi, it is minus del psi by del y. Fine. So if you put the value of psi here in the expression of angular velocity, you will get equal to this expression. You will get this expression. See, if you solve
Yes,
this,
sir.
you will get this expression. Now, what is this expression? Again, this is a second order differential equation. This is a second order differential equation equal to 0. That means it's a homogeneous second order differential equation. And homogeneous second order differential equation is called as Laplace equation. Just now we have seen in the previous case also, second order homogeneous differential equation is called as Laplace equation. Fine. So if psi satisfies Laplace equation, if psi
सर वो
satisfies,
डेल के ऊपर स्क्वायर नहीं आना सर?
there should be a square. There should be a square. एक misprint है ये. So this is a second order homogeneous differential equation. Fine. So whenever psi satisfied a Laplace equation, that means the flow is, see, it is becoming equal to 0. If it is becoming equal to 0, that means omega z is also 0 in this case. Because what we did, we just substitute the value of velocity in terms of psi, and it came out to be 0. That means omega z is 0. Fine. Now if omega z is 0, or if this equation is 0, both are the same thing. Fine. So omega z 0 means flow is rotational or irrotational?
Irrotational.
Irrotational. Okay. So if psi satisfies the Laplace equation, that means the flow is a irrotational flow. So again, in this point, in case of stream function, you need to remember 2 points. First point is if psi satisfies continuity equation. First is if psi exists and it satisfies continuity equation, that means, and definitely see, we have proved it also, that psi will always satisfy continuity equation. So if psi exists for a flow, if the psi exists, if the psi exists, that means it's a case of fluid flow. If psi exists means it's a case of fluid flow because it satisfies continuity equation. That is one thing.
Yes,
so whenever psi is possible, that means it is a case of continuity equation, fluid flow. Okay. Now second point is if that psi, if the value of psi also satisfies Laplace equation. Okay, psi exists means fluid flow, but rotational or irrotational, I don't know. But if psi satisfy Laplace equation, so if the psi satisfy Laplace equation, that means the flow is irrotational flow. 2 points. Psi exists, that means case of fluid flow. Rotational, irrotational, I don't know. But if that psi satisfies Laplace equation, that means it's a case of irrotational flow. Am I clear? So 4 points.
Yes,
So far we have discussed 4 important points. In case of the potential function, we have seen 2 points. Like if potential function exists, that means it's a case of irrotational flow. Okay, it's a case of irrotational flow. And if the potential function satisfy Laplace equation, that means it's a case of you can say steady incompressible irrotational flow. Fine. Second point, in case of stream functions, we have discussed that if psi exists, that means it's a case of flow. Rotational, irrotational, I don't know, but if that psi satisfies Laplace equation, that means it's a case of irrotational flow. These 4 important points will help you in so many objective questions. Okay, and in some of the numerical questions also we are going to practice. Okay. Let's see. Before that, we have a few more topics. These 3 topics are there. Let us try to discuss them also. Okay, like this is one topic which is called as equipotential line. So first you try to understand what is equipotential line. Fine. Since this term has potential in itself, so we are going, that means this line is you can say related with the potential function. Right? So what is equipotential line? Suppose if I have a line, which represents a fluid flow, this line represents a fluid flow. Right? So on this line, let's say I have many fluid particles, fluid particle 1, fluid particle 2, fluid particle 3, okay, fluid particle 4. So on this line, if all the fluid particles have same velocity function, okay, if all the fluid particle on this line have same value of phi, that means velocity potential function. If on this line, if all the particles have same potential function, that means this line is called as equipotential line. Equi means equal potential line. So on this line, all the fluid particles are going to have same value of velocity potential function, right? So that therefore this line will be called as equipotential line. That means what is happening? If this particle 1 have potential function phi 1, particle 2 have potential function phi 2, okay, similarly phi 3 and phi 4. So that means phi 1 is equals to phi 2, that is equals to phi 3 and phi 4. So all the particles have the same potential function. So these are called as equipotential line. Phi 1 equal to phi 2, which is equals to phi 3, which is equals to phi 4. Right? So on this line, the potential function is same for all the particles. So I can say it's a case of equipotential line. Right? So for a equipotential line, I can say phi is constant. phi is not changing. Fine. And you know, if in 3 dimension, in 2D, not in 3D, we are taking a case of, let's say, 2D. So in 2D, you know, phi will be a function of x and y axis only. Fine. So if I take a change in phi, if I take the derivative of phi, okay, total derivative of phi, so d phi will be written as using chain differential rule. You can write d phi in this terms because phi is a function of two variables. So if you want to take a total derivative of a function which is a function of two variables, you need to write its, you can say, this total derivative term using the chain differential rule. Fine. So in this case, what was d phi by dx? You know, d phi by dx, the definition is it is equals to minus u, okay, and d phi by dy it is equals to minus v. If you remember the definition of potential function is negative derivative of phi in any direction will be the velocity in that direction. So d phi by dx should be equal to minus u, and d phi by dy should be equal to minus v. Fine. So this is one equation which I am getting. Okay. Now, what should be the value of d phi for equipotential line? Tell me one thing. What will be the value of d phi for equipotential line? Since I am telling you that phi will be constant on equipotential line, so change in phi will be 0. Okay. So for
Yes,
a
sir.
equipotential line, change in phi. So we have taken the derivative of phi here with respect to x also and with respect to y, and then we have got this expression because d phi by dx, I have told you it is u, and d phi by dy is equals to minus u and minus v. So if you simplify this thing, it will become, the derivative of d phi will become this expression. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So derivative of d phi will become this expression minus u dx plus v dy. But for a equipotential line, we know that the derivative, or the, you can say, difference of phi, since the phi is constant, so difference will be 0. There is no difference. Fine. So this expression will become equal to 0 here. Fine. And if this expression is 0 here, so from this, what we can simplify this as in this form. You can see what I am doing is, you take this u
dy
dx
by
to,
dx
yes,
equal to
u
minus
dx
u by
on this side, so it will become v dy is equals to minus u dx. Fine. So dy by dx will become equal to minus u by y. And you know, whenever there is a curve, and if you take slope of that curve, okay, slope of that, let's say this curve is y. Fine. So slope of this curve will be dy by dx. Okay. So dy by
Yes.
dx also represents slope of the curve. So what I can say, the slope of a equipotential line, is equals to what? Minus u by v. Slope of the equipotential line will be equal to minus u by v, because the slope of any curve is equals to dy by dx. Fine. So slope of the equipotential line will be equal to minus u by v. Okay. So again, I am repeating this whole point of equipotential line. See, equipotential line is a line where the velocity potential function is same at every point. Fine. A line on which the velocity potential function is same at every point. So such line is called as equipotential line. Okay. And if I write the, you can say, if I write phi is constant for equipotential line, so change in phi, so d phi will be, since phi is a function of x and y, so I need to write the total derivative term using the terms of mathematics. Fine. So if I simplify this whole thing, fine, I will get the change in phi by this expression. Fine. But you know, the change in phi is also 0 for equipotential line, so d phi will be 0, and this is also change in change in potential function. Fine. So if I equate both of these things, I will get this expression. So from here, I can say I can find the slope of equipotential line. So all this exercise I have done to find the slope of equipotential line. So I can say slope of equipotential line will be equal to minus u by v. Similarly, we will try to calculate slope of stream function. Okay, जैसे आपने, the same way you have calculated slope of equipotential line, similarly we will try to calculate slope of stream function. Okay, so similarly stream function, since I can say, let's say, if the on a line of constant stream function, that means in that case the stream function will be constant. So in that case, change of stream function will be 0, similar to this case. Okay. So if I calculate d psi similar to this case, this will be the expression of d psi. Okay. In this expression, you know what is d psi by dx? D psi by dx will be equal to v. Okay. D psi by dx, from the definition, I can say d psi by dx is equals to v. And similarly, d psi by dy is equals to minus u. So if you substitute these things over here, you will get v dx minus u dy. Okay. But you know, this should be 0 for this line of, you can say, constant stream function. So for a line of constant stream function, d psi should be equal to 0. So that means this quantity which is written over here, this should be equal to 0. For a line of constant stream function, d psi should be 0. So I can say, from this expression, I can say v dx minus u dy equal to 0. So from here, I can say the slope dy by dx will be equal to, if you simplify this above expression, dy by dx will be equal to, yes, anyone? It should be equal to v by u. Okay. So if you simplify this expression, this u dy will come over here, and from here you can calculate dy by dx is equals to v by u. So the slope of constant stream function will become equal to v by u, and slope of equipotential line will, yes.
Sir, what this symbol is said, sir? Equal to constant written.
Psi.
Okay, sir.
Psi. In this previous slide, it is mentioned also. See, in case of stream function, in case of stream function, this symbol is called as psi, psi, psi. Okay. So I can say slope of equipotential is minus u by v, and slope of constant line of constant stream function is v by u. Fine. See, if I write, let me denote slope of equipotential line to be m1. Okay, slope of equipotential line to be, let's say, m1, and slope of line of constant stream function, let's say it is m2. Okay, slope of line of constant of stream function is m2. So you tell me one thing, एक mathematics का फिर से फंडा है. If I multiply slope of two lines, let's say m1 into m2, you just answer me whether you know this or not. If I multiply slope of two line, and if the result come out to be -1, okay. Now what happens? What I'm doing is, if I multiply the slope of two lines, slope of line 1 is m1, slope of line 2 is m2. Okay. So if I multiply slope of two lines and the answer came out to be -1. So what does this means? What does this means? This is a mathematical basic concept of mathematics. आपने schooling में पढ़ते हैं, you read this in the schooling function जब आप geometry पढ़ते हैं. Fine. Again, so I'll tell you what does it means. Fine. So if the product of slopes of two line, come out to be -1, so that means the lines are perpendicular to each other. Okay, this means what? Let's say this means line 1, let's say this is line 1, okay, and this is line 2. Fine. So whenever the slope of two lines, the product of slopes of two lines is -1, that means the lines are perpendicular to each other. Getting it or not? Okay. So this is a concept. If the product of slopes of two lines is -1, those lines are perpendicular to each other. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what can I say about this equipotential line and line of constant stream function? You can also see, if I multiply m1 and m2, if you multiply m1 m2, what it will become? See, m1 is, yes, -1 हो जाएगा. If you the m1 is minus u by v, and m2 is v by u. Okay. So if you multiply both of them, it will become -1, because this will get cancelled, every term will get cancelled. So it will become -1. So I can say the slope of equipotential line, the product of slopes of equipotential line and constant stream function is -1. Yes.
Perpendicular to each other.
Yes, both the lines are perpendicular to each other. Equipotential line is perpendicular to line of constant stream function. And you just learned one more question for objective questions. Fine. Objective question में आपसे पूछ सकते हैं whether the equipotential line is perpendicular to constant stream function or not. Fine. So yes, it is perpendicular to constant stream function. Why? Because the slope, the product of their slope is -1. Okay. So do remember this point. Make a note also. Maybe I have not written that point. You should note this point somewhere or somewhere. If I share this, I have already shared this PDF with you. You just edit that PDF and you can write that both of these lines are perpendicular to each other. Fine. Next is, what is the relation between that? See, that is what we have discussed also, relation between stream function and potential function. So you know, by definition, what is stream function? Stream function is definition of stream potential function. This is the definition of potential function. This is the definition of stream function. So both are in terms of the velocity. So you can equate them, that this is also u and this is also u. So what I can say, d phi minus d phi by dx is equals to minus d psi by dy. Okay, so minus minus will get cancelled out, so it will become this relation: d phi by dx is equals to d psi by dy, because both are equal to u. Okay, and similarly, since both are equal to v, so I can say minus d phi by dy is equals to d psi by dx. So d phi by dy is equals to minus d psi by dx. So this is again some relation. This may be again asked to you in the objective question, so do remember this thing also. Okay? Relation between stream function and potential function. So what we learned so far in this particular whole slide, we learned about potential function, 2 important points regarding potential function, stream function, 2 important points regarding stream function. We learned about equipotential line. So in equipotential line, we have seen what is the slope of equipotential line, slope of line of stream function. Both are perpendicular to each other. Okay, and relation between these two functions. So that is what we have learned today. How much time is it? So we have 10 minutes. Let's see. This small numerical, and similar to this numerical, we are following 2-3 more numericals which are same as this one. So let us try to see this numerical. Right? Now see, in this numerical, we have given a value of phi. You have been given a value of phi, that this is the value of phi given to you. Right? Now it is asking you what is the velocity component in the x direction and y direction. That means what you need to find? You need to find velocity in the x direction, that means u, and velocity in y direction, that is v. You need to find the value of u and v. Psi is given. Okay, that is one thing. Second is you need to represent that it is a case of fluid flow. So how can you represent it is a case of fluid flow? Anyone can answer this case? How will you prove that whether it is a case of flow? It should satisfy. आवाज कट रहा है बेटा, वापस बोलोगे? लैपलेस इक्वेशन को सेटिस्फाई करना चाहिए. लैपलेस की जगह हम इसको बोल देंगे कंटिन्यूटी इक्वेशन को सेटिस्फाई करना चाहिए. फाइन, लैपलेस के लिए था वो आपका था इन द स्ट्रीम फंक्शन. फाइन, ओके, चलिए लैपलेस भी बोल सकते हैं अगर कंटिन्यूटी इक्वेशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ फाई इज लैपलेस इक्वेशन. ओके, सो बोथ आर सेम, यू कैन से दिस थिंग. So you can say that if you need to find the velocity in x and y direction, that means you need to find value of u and v, and to prove whether it's a case of fluid flow, so whether it should satisfy continuity equation, or in case of phi, continuity equation is Laplace equation. So both are same. Fine. So first let's try to do the first part to find the value of u and v. Now you know the definition of phi, that d phi by dx is equals to what? Minus u, or I can say u is equals to minus d phi by dx. Fine. So if I have the value of phi, and if you take a derivative of phi, partial derivative of phi with respect to x, just take a differentiation of phi with respect to x. So this is the value of phi with respect to x. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
it has just taken the derivative of partial derivative of phi with respect to x. I hope you can calculate derivative. See, partial derivative of this term. So y will be constant
Yes.
here. If with respect to x, the partial derivative of x will be 1. So similarly, it has done here. So I'm not going into the derivative, you do it on your own. So partial derivative of phi, this is the value of u. Okay. Similarly, the partial derivative of phi with respect to y. Okay. Partial derivative of phi with respect to y will be v. So partial derivative of phi with respect to y. You need to remember this thing. Fine. This is the definition of potential function. Fine. Partial derivative of phi with respect to v. This is the value which you will get. Fine. So this is the value of v. So that is what has been asked in the first part. Calculate u and v. So simply you take the derivative of phi. Okay. So that is how you calculate
Yes, sir.
v. Second is to solve it whether it's a case of fluid flow. It should satisfy Laplace equation or continuity equation. Fine. So in that case, what I can say, Laplace equation, I have told you it's a second order homogeneous differential equation. So second order homogeneous differential equation for phi will be, this is Laplace equation. Fine. So you have been given the value of phi. The value of phi is given. Take two derivatives. So this is first derivative. This is second derivative. So second derivative of phi is with respect to x. Similarly, first derivative of phi with respect to y. Second derivative of phi with respect to y. So this is second derivative of phi with respect to y. This is second derivative of phi with respect to x. Just substitute these values in the equation.